Lolo, I have a question. Why does it feel like our culture is changing so quickly? I hear people saying that things were so different when you were a child. What really happened? Is it just me? Or is there something significant that we're losing along the way? I notice that even the way we greet each other has changed. I used to hear people say, Magandang umaga, or Kumusta. But now, many of my friends just wave or text instead. Do you think that's why we're losing that connection? I want to understand why this is happening and how it affects us as a community. It worries me because I feel like I'm missing out on the richness of our traditions, like the stories my mum tells about the way we used to celebrate pahiyas in our town. Everyone would work together to create the most beautiful decorations, and it brought us closer. I just wish I could experience that sense of togetherness.
Ah, I see you've noticed, Apo. Yes, indeed. Things are not the same as they were when I was your age. Sit down and let me share a story from my youth. When I was a young boy, the village would come alive during the festivals. We would gather to prepare for the fiestas where everyone contributed. My mother would cook lechon, and the men would build colorful decorations. Our community felt like one large family. We didn't have much, but we shared everything: our food, our laughter, and even our sorrows. This spirit of Bayanihan, helping each other without expecting anything in return, was at the heart of our culture. However, as time went by, we began to see changes. The television arrived, bringing news and entertainment from afar, and soon after, foreign influences started trickling into our lives. At first, it was exciting to see the world beyond our barangay, but with it came new ideas, new values, and sometimes confusion about who we were. We began to adopt behaviors and customs that weren't ours, and while some changes brought innovation, others seemed to dilute the richness of our traditions. For example, I remember when people would visit their neighbors just to share stories over a cup of coffee. Those moments built strong relationships. Now, I notice people prefer to send a message instead of making that effort to connect in person. It makes me wonder if we're losing the very fabric that ties us together. And as these changes unfold, we must ask ourselves, how do we adapt without losing our essence? Each generation faces these challenges, and it's important to reflect on how we can stay connected to our roots while navigating the winds of change.
But why, Lolo? Why did we allow those changes to happen? Wasn't there a way to protect what we had? Didn't we want to hold on to what was important? I feel like I'm missing out on so many beautiful traditions because everyone seems to be rushing to embrace the new. I sometimes see my friends choosing fast food over home-cooked meals, and it makes me sad. I think about the times when my family would sit together and share stories over dinner, and I wonder if those moments will disappear. Do you think we can ever bring those traditions back? Is there a way for my generation to learn from the past while still enjoying what the future offers? I want to know how I can help bridge that gap. It's not just about food, Lolo. It's about the memories we create. I want to learn about our festivals, the dances we used to perform, and the songs we sang.
Well, Aya, you see, times change whether we like it or not. Take my business, for example. When I started selling Tahoe, I had just a few loyal customers from the barangay. Back then, I would shout, Tahoe, to let everyone know I was here. But now, with social media, I get customers from all over Manila searching for me. It's incredible. I remember the days when I'd set up my cart in the morning, relying on word of mouth. Now, with a simple post on Instagram, I can reach thousands of people. It has made my life easier in many ways, but I often wonder, has it also made me lose touch with the very community that helped me start? People are so busy scrolling through their feeds that they forget the simple joys of gathering around the cart and sharing stories. There's magic in the personal connections we've lost. I miss the days when customers would sit by my cart, enjoying their taho and exchanging stories of their day. Now they buy and go, rarely pausing to share a moment. I remember this one customer who would tell me about his day every time he bought taho. He became like family to me. Those interactions meant so much. It makes me realize that while technology connects us, it sometimes disconnects us from what truly matters: human connection.
That's a great point, Mangberto. When I studied abroad, I was struck by how different cultures blend together. I love our Filipino dishes, but sometimes I find myself craving pizza or sushi. It's not that I've forgotten our culture, it's just that I've embraced new flavors and experiences. Living in another country opened my eyes to the beauty of diversity. I remember my first Thanksgiving in the United States. I was invited to a friend's house. There were turkey and mashed potatoes, but they also prepared a small portion of adobo because they knew I missed home. It was a wonderful fusion of cultures. Everyone enjoyed the meal together, sharing stories and laughter. But I also noticed that people in my host country cherished their own traditions. They celebrated them with pride and joy. They would wear their traditional attire during festivals, and it was heartwarming to see. I think that's what we need to do as Filipinos. We can celebrate our heritage while also being open to the influences of other cultures. I dream of a day when we can share our pancit with friends from different backgrounds and learn about their dishes too. However, we must not lose our identity in the process. I fear that as we adopt new trends, we might forget the stories that shaped us, the stories of our ancestors, the lessons learned through hardship and perseverance. How can we ensure that our identity remains intact amidst the noise of the modern world? Perhaps we can hold community events where we showcase our culture while also inviting others to share theirs. That way, we can learn from each other and grow together.
Exactly, Ella. The world is becoming more interconnected, and while it's essential to embrace change, we should never forget our roots. Our language, clothing, and even our values have been influenced by many cultures. But this doesn't mean we've lost everything that defines us as Filipinos. We still celebrate fiestas, we still honor our elders, and our families remain close-knit. These are the cornerstones of our culture. Remember, every time you speak in Tagalog or Ilocano, or even when you celebrate Pahiyas or Sinulog, you are participating in a tradition that has been passed down for generations. It's about finding the balance between honoring our past and welcoming the future. I encourage you both to explore and understand the influences around you, but always bring back what you learn to our culture. Teach others about our traditions, share the stories of our ancestors, and show pride in who we are. This way, we can evolve without losing the essence of what makes us Filipino. We must find joy in the blend of our past and our future. I believe that by sharing our stories and traditions, we not only honor those who came before us, but we also enrich the lives of those around us.
So, does that mean change can be a good thing? I want to understand how to embrace it while still holding on to our traditions. How can we find that balance? I want to learn about our festivals, the dances we used to perform, and the songs we sang. I remember my grandmother used to tell me stories about the pabasa during Holy Week, where people would gather to chant and pray together. Those gatherings felt special, filled with laughter and camaraderie. How can I share that with my friends who might not know? How do we teach them the importance of those gatherings? I feel like there's so much potential to create beautiful memories, but we have to take that first step together.
It really depends on how you choose to see it, Aya. Change can bring about growth, but we also have to recognize what we might be sacrificing. I've gained many new customers, but I've also lost the warmth of personal connections.